What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Winning Move podcast. Let me get this thing organized real quick. Today's going to be a little bit of a shorter one of just me talking about what's it called? What I wish I would have known when I was 18 years old, right? And just sitting here reflecting on where my life is and where it used to be. Because, I mean, at 18, I feel like I'm a completely different person now to where like I wouldn't even recognize who this guy is. Like 18-year-old Stratton was partying his ass off and just wanted to play football to where now I'm doing a lot of different things that I never even thought was possible or I never even saw myself doing those things. So first I'll start with like the top 3 things I'm doing today for my birthday, right? And I'm talking about what I'm doing for my birthday because like most dudes are like you'll see them out there partying their ass off. And don't get me wrong, if I wasn't doing 75 hard, I'd have a couple drinks tonight. But I was on the phone with my mentor today, and this is another reason I'm working, right? And I'm asking, he was like, well, man, I was financially free by age 27, and I was netting $130,000 a month. And I was like, Jesus Christ, bro, you got to step your game up. Like, what are you doing right now to get to there to where you never have to work again? And then instead of having to work, and you probably will work a little bit, you could fly out your family, right? And let's say I'm in Utah and I want to fly all my family across the country and go see something because I can afford it. So that's the main reason I'm working today, right? Because I'm not anywhere near to where I want my goals to be. And I love building things and I love building my companies. So today, for me, it's a huge social media content day. So I'm building out a bunch of social media content. I have our level 10 meeting with our call center, and then with our wholesale business, I got to go over all of our numbers, see where we're progressing, see everything else. Thanks, Mike. Sorry, bro. I just had to decline your call real quick, man. And then the third thing, eventually I'll be spending time with my family. But I mean, you can't be celebrating things when you're not where you want to be. That's just my personal opinion, right? You see that TI quote of people talking about, well, why are you partying every weekend if you have nothing to celebrate? If you're just partying to blow off some steam, you might as well be working into something, right? And so I'm not where I want to be, so I have to keep putting in the work. But the 5 things I wish I would have known when I was 18, just going into college, right? Going into college football. I'm going into snow. Just came off of snapping my ankle in half in high school. The number one thing I wish I would have told myself is you're more than an athlete, right? I got extremely depressed and suicidal. I remember my junior year because I pulled my hamstring in my groin. And then I was like, well, your entire life is built onto this, right? So I was like, oh, well, you aren't going to go to college. You aren't going to get any good scholarship offers. And then what are you going to do? Right. And to where now I see myself, I never even thought there was a life after athletics. And here I am. I own a company with 60 plus employees. I make decent money for my age. And then I'm pushing and pushing and pushing and doing things I never even thought were possible. The number 2 thing I wish I would have told myself is be nicer to myself and nicer to others. Right? Because as an athlete, again, you're your number one critic, and it gets to be to a point to where you are damaging yourself instead of helping build up that confidence, right? And you build that confidence by putting in that work every day, in and out, way before you even get to the game, but enjoying those plays that you make, enjoying your wins, and celebrating those wins, right? Not just beating yourself up and on to the next, because that is what we all fall into. And as an entrepreneur and an athlete, be nice to myself, be happier, man. Number 3 would be get organized. I have to pay people now because I am not organized, and I pay them to organize my shit, to where it would have made my life so much easier if I was this much more organized in my day-to-day shit and I didn't have to have an assistant running everything for me and making sure they're handling it right. Like nothing gets done unless it gets to my assistant and gets to my calendar. To where if I was a little bit able to do that myself, I could see myself being farther in business. Journal daily is one that I wish I would tell myself what to do, just for the fact that there's so many amazing memories that you lose, right? So I think about all the memories I made with all of my brothers and friends in high school and how we should have journaled every day and damn near put out a book. Thanks, Mice. That told that just at least had that story, and I'd have that for the rest of my life. And then those memories are always there. I can go back and read it instead of I only get to reminisce on those memories when we're all together. And I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot about that one too. And so journaling and taking a ton more pictures of just the events that I was doing. And this is from high school. And then I get into college and documenting all the stuff I was doing, even like all the workouts, doing stuff on your own, the ups and the downs, to at least look back at that. And then I can look back at that and like, oh man, I have done so much more. I've worked way too hard to get here, to give up or to doubt myself. And then the last thing I ever would tell myself is read more, right? Because I was always a reader in high school. Like I read Twilight in middle school like 4 times, right? But I wasn't reading self-development books to where if I could have read some more books about psychology and sports psychology and honestly like Think and Grow Rich and things like that, it would have helped me immensely with achieving my goals in sports and not doubting myself and having that visualization there, not only to practice in my mind, but also to just believe in myself to go get it done. When you have coaches who are telling you ain't shit, you got other players telling you ain't shit, where the only thing that really matters is up here. And I remember people always telling me growing up to be humble, to where now I see elite athletes, and that's the last thing you need to fucking be is humble, right? It is a very, very fine line, but you cannot think of yourself humbly when you're trying to achieve great things. And so if I could have read more books about like sports psychology and achievement, and then leadership, reading more books about developing myself as a leader, that would help me more in football. And then it would help me again more in life as I'm leading my companies, trying to reach our goals and everything else. So think about that. And I use my birthdays to reflect of like, oh man, last year we were here. This year we were here. Like last year, we weren't anywhere close to where we are this year, right? Like in January, we did $110,000 in revenue as to compared to, I think last year in January, I did like 20,000. So it's a massive gap and a huge jump of where you can be in just a year. So think about that. Thank you guys so much for the happy birthday wishes. I hope you all have an amazing day.